because this wasn't being set at 300 years into the future, the whole story is set in the foreseeable future of about 52 years from now. I didn't think we would have to reinvent society to be able to portray society a half a century hence. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring some of the best minds in technology, environment, crime fighting, medicine, health, social services, transportation, computer technology, into a room to discuss what will a half a century from now be like.
And they sat down with a bunch of scientists, and they all spent a weekend actually discussing what's the future going to be like. What things will we have in the future? What will we need?
And they flew in from all over the country, and there was a 3-day think tank in Venice. It was a wonderful experience because most of the toys, let's call them technical toys, most of the future look in the story came directly from their best prognosticating. Yeah, the most striking thing for me was the fact that George Orwell's prophecy really comes true, not in the 20th century, but in the 21st century.
I show 27 warm bodies.
What little privacy we have now will be completely evaporated in 20 or 30 years because technology will be able to see through walls, through rooftops, into the very privacy of our personal lives, into the sanctuary of our families. And these violations will, I think, be a detriment to society. We have identifications that actually read your eyes. Everything will be identified. Advertisers will target you.
The road you're on, John Anderton, is the one less traveled.
A billboard will read your eyes at a great distance of 200 yards and directly project both sound and visual imagery. And that is touched upon in Minority Report.
John Anderton, you could use a Guinness right about now.
I thought it would be good to have a city in our film that was not going to change that much in 52 years. And Washington, D.C. is, in 52 years from now, they will still have the Washington Monument, they'll still have the rotunda of the Senate, the Capitol building, they'll still have the White House, but around that city are going to be the vestiges of future architecture and technologies.
We imagine that the world of DC kind of came in 3 layers, and that DC itself never changes, that it's zoned as it is now. And when we talked to the urban planners about DC, they said, you can't build skyscrapers in the middle of DC, it will never happen. So we imagine across the river and across the Potomac that there is none of that zoning restriction. So those buildings developed vertically very fast, and there's this very modern vertical city right across the river. But below that is the old city, which we've stretched architecturally because we've really made it more like downtown LA. But there's a kind of tenement, decaying, dark city which exists underneath the new city. And that's where the tenement hotel is.
Minority Report, I would categorize as a film noir. And subsequently, there's certain language that you have to follow through when you're making a film noir, which is a world of shadows, world of darkness, very kind of dramatic low camera angles or high angle camera, things that are really extreme.
You have a choice. Walk away. Do it now.
I can't. I have to know. I have to find out what happened in my life.
I just said to Janusz, I wanted to make the ugliest, dirtiest movie I've ever made. I want this movie to be dark and grainy and to be really cold, and this isn't a warm adventure the way AI was. This is a rather rough and tumble and gritty world of film noir, which I've never really done film noir before. Not until Minority Report did I ever attempt anything film noir. And so Janusz just came up with a look by basically using the bleach bypass process that takes some color out and turns orange faces white and just creates a coolness to everything, kind of toward the blues, toward the cool colors.
I think of film noir as something in the past Raymond Chandler, 1930s, 1940s, a certain kind of era with a certain sensibility, and this is now 30, 40 years in the future. How would we think of as film noir apply to the future? And that is, I think, what Steven has, among the things he's done in the film, done so cleverly to make us get a little sense of nostalgia from the film noir aspect, even though we're in a future that we can only imagine.
This investigation of pre-crime and its personnel is being conducted under the direct supervision and express permission from the Attorney General of the United States. I'm here as his representative, which means you're now operating under my supervision.
For me, at least, to hear this film, I didn't hear it particularly in a super postmodernistic kind of ambiance, electronic music, for example, synthesized sound sources and so on. It felt more to me like a Humphrey Bogart film.
I'm not in trouble, am I?
Not yet.
But what it also has is a kind of a, I'll use this word in the best sense, it has a sentimental quality that would never be admissible in film noir.
Sean!
Hi, Daddy.
One of the basic precepts of film noir is to be non-sentimental, to be always very dry and detached and objective. But here we have the character of the boy and the character of the ex-wife, both of whom are either recollected or yearned for by the character of John Anderton. And we have a musical theme for Sean and a musical theme for the wife that are themes that are melodic in a way that wouldn't fit in the Maltese Falcon, so to speak. It's a deviation from the style.
Look, put the camera down, or you're not getting anything tonight.
It seems to me that Minority Report embodies certain aspects of other styles that are wedded to this. One of them being the character of the boy and Anderson's feeling about the boy that we share with him. Other thematic things, one that particularly sticks in my mind is the musical characterization of Anne Lively, who was the woman who lost her life so many years ago, and our main precog is the daughter of this woman. And whenever she's referred to, we hear the voice of a woman. I think it was Steven's suggestion, and I wrote a little theme for this, just a few notes, and found a young woman with a fantastic voice, Dietrich, her name is.
You want me to see who killed Anne Lively?
But I think she did contribute, and the voice contributes to the mysterious, mystical atmosphere of a film noir tradition.
Steven almost creates a new genre with every film he makes.
I'm telling you, this isn't science fiction. This is coming. This is on the way.
What he's making now is sort of a combination between a gritty detective thriller like A French Connection and the old comic books. And it's so interesting to watch it formulate and change and evolve and sort of journey through the story.
This isn't necessarily an action movie. You know, there's action scenes all the way through it because basically he's on the run for 90 minutes of this picture. But it really is a mystery. It's really a whodunit, or who will do it, and you're along for that kind of a ride.
You can choose.